Hey guys, we're back with another top 5 video with my friends from the Boys and Girls Club of the Rogue Valley. How are you doing this morning, Clarissa?
So good. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, doing wonderful. And last week, if you didn't check it out, either on the Boys and Girls Club of the Rogue Valley YouTube page or on our Facebook page here that you're watching now, we talked about healthy coping habits. And so hopefully you guys are using some of those strategies that we use and maybe have
Yeah.
stuff. Still, we would love to hear what you're doing. Share that with us. Go check that video
Yes.
last week. This week, we got a little bit sillier with it, and we're going to be talking about our top 5 Disney movies of all time. And so I went old school and new school, so I've got a little Disney Pixar, and I've got a little bit of that old classic stuff that I grew up on. So what about you, Clarissa? You got a little bit of mixture?
Awesome. It is a little bit of mix. Mostly old school. I tend to live in like nostalgia,
Yeah.
trying to show my kids the real good stuff
Oh
from
yeah.
back when I was young. But there's great stuff these days too.
Oh
It's
yeah.
all good. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna go back and forth listing our 5. We might friendly debate here. Some of the ones that made my top 5 might not be for storyline purposes, but maybe I absolutely love the songs that are stuck in my head every day that I hear club kids sing all the
Yes,
time.
I
And
have been singing a Disney movie in
yep,
my head all day long today in preparation for this. So,
yes, and so
yeah,
and and I sing Disney songs that I don't even know words to. I just
yeah,
love to do it. And we'll talk about that when it comes up. So, do you want to start with your?
awesome.
We'll start from 5 and work our way up to our favorite.
Sure, yeah. I don't know that mine are going to be like ranked because
Okay.
I love them all for so many. I'll try and rank them.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say out of like all of the ones that I love the most, I gotta put Enchanted in that
Oh,
list. Because it came out at a time where I was like just nearing the end of my college. I started college a little later in life than most people do, and so I was in my final semester of college, or my I guess my final winter of college, and it came out at Christmas time. And my husband and I went and saw it with a couple of our friends, and that movie like just healed my stress,
that's
and it
awesome.
melted my stress, and it is still to this day one of my absolute favorites. The music in it is fantastic. I might sing the happy working song on a regular occasion. It is in my playlist in my phone. And my kids roll their eyes when it comes on, just like on random, but I love it. And it's funny, and the chipmunk in it just cracks me up every time. So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good silly one, but it's also a good it's got a good message and a good like, hey, like I'm gonna choose happiness over what other people expect of me.
Mhm.
And so I really feel like that's a good moral to that story. So
Yeah.
Enchanted.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I honestly, I haven't seen that in years. It's felt like, but that's a very good one.
Yeah.
I go a little bit newer with mine. I went number 5 as Moana. I absolutely love
Oh,
Moana. When I heard that Dwayne the Rock Johnson, so some of you guys know that growing up, I was a huge WWE wrestling guy. That was
yeah.
my thing in middle school. Tuning in on a Friday night or Monday night and watching wrestling. I loved it. I loved the storylines, loved everything. So when I heard Dwayne the Rock Johnson was going to be playing an animated character in a Disney movie, I fanboyed it a little bit and absolutely loved it. And then he has his own solo song. Um, oh,
Yes.
what is it? Was it? You're welcome.
Da, da, da,
Oh, you're
da. It's
welcome.
okay. You're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I have to admit, I have learned all the words to that last couple of years, and I'm
Awesome.
very proud of it. We'll save your ears from me singing it right now, but I absolutely love the storyline. I love Dwayne Johnson's character. I love the soundtrack throughout the whole movie. It's just one of those ones that my daughter absolutely loves too.
Mm,
So sitting with her
yeah,
after
and we
my
know
daughter,
all of our club members love it
yes,
too. Yes.
definitely, definitely. So that's number 5, Moana for me.
Awesome. I gotta say, I'm one of those people that when a movie comes out and everybody's like, you have to see this, it's so good. I tend not to see it, and I tend not to
Oh,
like it the
oh,
first time because other people's expectations are in my head. So the
yeah,
first time I saw Moana, and my friend that I work with at the club, Jessica, I didn't like Moana, and she was like, "How can you not like Moana? The message in it is so good." And she was like debating it with me for a while.
Right.
But I gotta confess, the first time I saw it, I wasn't really paying attention because other people told me how much I would love it. So I kind of like half paid attention. I'm very much when I watch a movie, I'm doing other things too. So recently during this time, while I've been home with my kids, we pulled it out and watched it. And I loved it. I
Yeah.
loved the message, and it just spoke to me a little bit deeper than it did the first time. So yes, I agree with you. So Jessica, if you're watching this,
There it is.
you were right all along. Yeah, yeah,
Cool. So number
yeah.
4, if you
Moana.
have
Oh,
to rank
that's
it for
good. Okay, I am gonna go with The Lion King. And I gotta go with the old school Disney, the cartoon, the
it.
animated version. I went to that movie in the theater so many times with my BFF at the time, Kate. Kate, if you see this for some reason, shout out. I haven't talked to you for years. But yeah, that one's good. Again, just the message of it and the things that little Simba goes through as he grows into becoming an adult, and the fact that he was able to step into his responsibility and his power, and the music. It's
Oh yeah.
yeah, different from just amazing to hilarious. It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, so Lion King was like when I was growing up, that's the one that was like on repeat when I was growing up. That one and Dumbo. Dumbo didn't make my list, might have made yours, but Dumbo
Ah,
was those two were the VHS tape was in our TV
yeah,
all the time
Dumbo.
growing up. So if you would have asked me back then, it probably would have made my list.
Yeah,
Made my list. I just think Disney just keeps stepping up their game.
I
The more years they
know.
exist, so it's so hard
Yeah,
to not put
yeah.
that on, but just make mine. So number 4 is a tearjerker, and any movie that can make you cry in the first 5 minutes of a movie
Uh-oh.
is gonna be a good one. So Up is my number 4,
Ah,
and
yes.
I still have emotions and get emotional every time I watch that movie because it's just wonderful. It's wonderful how um, we go through our day-to-day life, and this man that was super happy and in love and adventurous and everything else, and something ended up happening with his wife, and it changed his perspective or perception about life and how he approached it. And then someone to come in and just refreshen that for him and just show him that adventure is still out there, and the world is what you make of it. And it's just a really cool, wonderful, silly, cute story that I can really get behind, especially if you got me
Yeah.
crying 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
So,
We need to have a watch party with you.
right, right, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I have not seen that one for years. Man, I got to make a list of all these.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, next on my list is Oliver and Company.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, that is definitely old school, and I have not watched it for a while, but that is one that every time I see like a picture of it or I think about it, I'm like, oh, I gotta watch that again. I gotta watch that again. Again, the music is fantastic, the story is fantastic. There, Disney somehow has a way of just sneaking in these little stories and helping you learn some life lessons, about Oliver and Company. Um, it's a good one. I got a soft spot for that sweet little kitten that's in it and all the animals. So it relates on a whole different level. But
Yeah, that's throwing it back. I don't even know if
yeah,
that, because I was telling you before we got on that I made like my own draft board. It
yeah,
was ridiculous. I think I'm missing sports so much that anytime that I
right.
could just make a tournament bracket or do anything like that, I go for it. And Oliver
Yeah.
Company didn't even make it, but I think it would have inserted it somewhere in. I completely spaced that movie.
Yeah,
That's definitely a good one.
yeah.
Number 3 is a kind of a personal one. My wife is becoming a dual enrollment teacher, and she just actually got a position at South Shore, which is super exciting,
Awesome.
in Albany. But we love this movie because it has a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of English, and my daughter, she would watch this movie every single day, every hour. She loves the songs and everything. That is Coco. So Coco, if you haven't
Yes.
seen that movie, absolutely
Yeah,
wonderful story.
I
The
have not
Day of the
seen it
Dead.
yet.
Oh, okay. So I won't spoil
No.
anything for
Okay,
you.
please don't.
It is so watch.
Yes. I gotta watch it because my kids, every time we turn on Disney Plus, I'm like, hey, can we watch Coco? And they're like, no, I want to watch this. And it's like we're all home together. I'm trying to keep the peace. But you know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna
Oh,
go
the
watch
mom
it
part.
in my room by myself so I can
There
enjoy
you
it.
go.
Yes.
I
Yeah, or
love it.
maybe I'll play the mom card and they can watch it
Oh
too.
yeah.
But
And
yes.
just the Day of the Dead and just how much family and cultures within like Hispanic
Yes.
culture and seeing that in a movie and just that family dynamic is absolutely wonderful in the songs and just wonderful
Oh,
storylines. So definitely
I
you have
can't
to see
wait.
that.
I know, and I will. I'm
Good.
past the point where if somebody says it's good, I'm not gonna watch it. So I've
There we
matured.
go.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, so that was number 3 for me.
Oh, awesome. All right. My number two, I'm going back and forth between like a old school. I guess they're both old school. I'm gonna throw out two movies here because I feel
Okay.
like they really need to make the list. So Pete's Dragon,
Oh,
super old school, and they really like the only thing that I remember of it is the part where they sing "Ba ba 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 ba, I love you too," and
okay.
that little ditty, I guess, is something that we sing around our house all the time. And so
Oh,
for
that's
me,
fun.
it's like a soft spot for Pete's Dragon.
I
And
don't
again,
think I've
just
seen that. So that there's a sign
really
that I need
not,
to go watch.
yeah, not the new. I mean, I haven't seen the new one, so I can't speak to that. But
Okay,
the
so let's
old
talk about the older
cartoon,
one.
the animated one, oh,
Okay.
it's good. It's near and dear to my heart. And then the other one is Aladdin. I do love Aladdin. I love the animated one, and I love the remade one that they just did. Um, and the
So which one's
music
your
in it,
favorite? The animated, new
the
one.
animated, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
always animated, yes. Yeah, the music in it, the adventure in it, the again, taking a character and letting them grow into their own self and who they are made to be is a journey that speaks to my heart, apparently. So
Love it.
yeah,
Yeah, so
yes,
Aladdin's the next one on my list too.
yes,
Aladdin is absolutely amazing. And again, I think it got this high because of the soundtrack. The
hmm
whole new world, my wife and I sing that like on a daily basis on our car rides. Just
yes,
there's a male part, there's a female part, we could just rock it and nobody's
yes,
listening. So it's just a good time. So but yeah,
yeah.
again, it's a good story and people coming of their own. Just wonderful. And I really love the remake. I've heard a lot of people say it's not as good as the animated one, but it's different. And
It is, yeah.
Will Smith had a tough job stepping in for Robin Williams'
Yes.
role in that
Yes.
film, and I think he did a relatively good job. And
He did.
I love the music. Absolutely
Yeah,
love the
and the
music
new
for that
song,
one.
Speechless, that's in it.
Hmm.
Very powerful song.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely,
Yes.
definitely.
That's
So
great. Ah, all right.
cool.
Should we do
And
this
then
the number one?
the number one.
Okay, so this one is really going to date me. Um, but in all of these videos, the thing that sticks with me is music and the underdog, the people stepping into their power. So my all time favorite Disney movie, I will watch it any time of day. I have seen it a gazillion times, is Newsies.
No idea what that is.
Newsies. Oh, okay, add it to your
Oh,
list.
I have no
It
idea what
is
phase.
it is a musical, a Disney musical. It is about the newspaper boys in New York in the 1900s. And Jack Kelly is an underdog and he is a leader and he makes some bad decisions, and he has to like come of age and figure out how to like get back to his core. And I literally was like belting out Newsy songs before the start, and my daughter was like, "Are you gonna do that?" And I'm like, not when anybody can hear me.
Really?
But it's that is my all-time favorite. I don't remember who put it on, but it was on in one of the theaters down here. One of the local companies put it on not too long ago, and I took my entire family, and my kids now love Newsies too. And
I love it.
you have to watch it, and I want to hear after you watch it. We'll have to
Yeah,
do like a
how old is that? How was that
Oh,
movie?
you
It's
know,
pretty.
I remember having a crush on Jack Kelly when I was probably 10.
Okay.
And I am not 10 anymore. I'm not in my 20s. I'm I'm leaving my 30s this year, so that will tell you how old it is. And I could be
That,
wrong. It could be
that's
I could be a couple years before or after, I don't know. But
yeah. Interesting.
just it's such a good story and such good music.
Oh,
So
well,
I'll
I have
watch
to check it out.
Coco.
I have two
You
movies.
watch
I have
Newsies.
Newsies
Yes.
and Pete's Dragon, so I'm going to be busy
Yes.
tonight. That's exciting.
Yes. All right. What do you
All
got?
right.
What's your number one?
So my number one would have been my top four, but because I wanted to be a little variety here, I'm just going to go with the overall, and I'm going to say Toy Story. And I don't
Oh.
have a favorite. I absolutely love an individual one for its different reasons. Toy
Mhm.
Story was. I was basically Andy. I had those toys. I had a Woody. I had a Buzz Lightyear. Like I was following that growing up. And when Toy Story 4 came out, I kid you not, we put it on a calendar. I put it on my work calendar. Like it was basically another birthday for me when that came out. And
Awesome.
so the soundtrack is amazing, but just giving life to your everyday toys that you were growing up with,
Yes.
and then that
Yes.
seeing them go through this journey of not necessarily being forgotten about, but some of the toys are forgotten about, and you could even
Mhm.
talk about your own toys when you were growing up. And
Mhm.
oh, I loved playing with that thing, and it's you change, you grow up, you have different interests, and seeing them go through that struggle as someone that's been loved and taken care of, and now they're in the bottom of a toy box.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting concept, and I absolutely just
Yeah.
love all four. I'm really hoping for a fifth one. They haven't completely denied it yet, so we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
But I'll be
Awesome.
happy to
That's
get
one I
them.
still need to see is the fourth one. I've not seen it yet. So I'll add that to my list too. Looks
There you
like we both
go.
got some
Cool.
homework. So let
Yeah,
me ask you
exactly.
this. Saying that, Tyler, do you still have toys from your childhood that you have put away in like a special box that you can't wait to pull out for your daughter and say, when I was this years old, this toy brought this to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we moved a lot when I was younger, so we didn't get to keep a lot of things. But the one thing I do have kept is basically a miniature guitar. I'd say about yay big, and it has like my name engraved and everything else. And it's sitting right now in my closet, waiting for Emmy to get a little bit bigger. She's only
Yeah.
about 2 right now. Get a little bit bigger, and I'm like, hey, I didn't learn anything on it. I strummed it and probably beat things with it or whatever I did with it, but I just remember sitting around with it and trying to play with my grandpa a little bit, and
Oh,
just some really cool memories with that. So
yeah.
I'll whip my personal one out now, and maybe we'll just get the strum together, which will be kind of cool.
Yeah.
What about
Awesome.
you?
Awesome. Mine is I have a doll. I oh my gosh, this is gonna make me sound so old. There used to be, it was very short-lived, but a cartoon called Lady Lovely Locks.
Okay.
And it was a princess, I was little, but she had all these colorful pixies that lived in her hair. And so I still have the doll. I still have the pixie clips. In fact, I found one like randomly the
Wow.
other day. It was sitting in my nightstand for some reason. I think from our previous foster children that were here.
Okay.
Um, and anyway, so there's that. And then I also have, you brought up having something from your grandpa. I have a stuffed animal snake. And I'm terrified of snakes. I do not like snakes, but this one I kept because it is pink and fuzzy and it has like a mohawk on the top of its head and it like
Yeah.
wraps around my arm from my grandma who passed away when I was in fifth
Oh,
grade.
okay, that's awesome.
So that one stays in my special box too. And
Oh
someday
yeah.
when my kids are interested, I'll be able to have that conversation with them. So,
Yeah, that's so
but
cool.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So
My
so
wife,
the note
to
here.
bring my
Oh,
go I was just saying, my wife collects rocks. That's her big thing. So when we got together, the joke of the family was, well, you're taking her and you're taking all of her bags of rocks too. And so
literally.
in our attic, literally we have, and I give her a hard time all the time. We have 4 boxes of rocks, but she can pull out one single rock and tell you a story behind it. It's really cool. So
Oh, I
I mean,
love that.
keeping those things and whatnot, and those memories, and then sharing those moments and sharing
Yes.
with others, really,
Yeah.
really just a cool talking point, especially when we're home right now, pulling those things out and talking about, hey, 20 years ago, 10 years
Yeah,
ago, even a
this is
couple
what
years
this
ago.
means
I
to
love it.
me,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm a beach rock collector, so
Okay.
every time we
Yeah.
go, I'll pick up one, one that really
Okay.
speaks to me. Yeah. So what I was gonna say, and that kind of ties in with what you were just talking about, is to our club members. As you guys are growing up and you're aging and you have these things that you treasure and that you love and that kind of mold who you are, make sure you are hanging on to them, or that you're writing about them in a journal, or that you're taking pictures of them, especially through this time. This documentation and journaling is super important, because someday your kids are going to be like, hey, you were alive when this pandemic happened. Like, what was it really like? So make sure you're taking the opportunity to really think about that kind of stuff that means something to you. So, and
Yeah.
this conversation has a really fun twist, and Disney movies, which are a part of, I think, a whole bunch of people's childhoods, and clearly there are some that resonate very strongly with each of us, and lots of other things too. So,
Ah, well,
yeah,
definitely. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope we gave you, like, we talked about almost 10, 12 movies. So hopefully,
yeah,
if you haven't seen these, check them
yeah,
out.
go watch
There's some
them.
good stories. Go watch them.
Let us
It'll
know
be a
what
good
you
time.
think. Maybe
Yes.
make a note, a comment on what your favorite Disney movie is, and if we haven't seen it, we can check it out.
Yeah.
Also,
Where
yeah.
can they find the videos for you guys? Where would that be located
We
at?
post them on our YouTube channel. It is Boys and Girls Clubs of the Rogue Valley.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
guys, you post yours on Facebook at
Yes, and at BGC Greater Centiam. So go check
awesome.
that out. That'll be facebook.com, and then insert that. We got cool videos, not only what we're doing here, but both sites are doing amazing things that you guys
Yes.
be engaged with and entertained with while you're at home.
Yes.
So definitely go check that out. But
Yeah, we're trying to bring in all the fun for all of our club members and our
all right,
community members, because we
cool.
miss you. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
Well, anyways, guys, I hope you guys stay safe, you enjoy yourself, and we'll catch you on the flippity flip. Until next time.
All right. Peace out, everyone.